guys, I hope you're good. It's just going to be a quick video today because I've got to go to work in a minute and I've had to shut all the windows and the doors because of the noise. It's really hot. So what I want to talk to you about today is the rules about living on a boat and the two main ways that you can live on a boat full time, and then I'll talk about the third way as well. So the most common thing that people do, certainly in London, when they're living on a boat is called continuous cruising. What that means, every boat has to have a licence from the Canal and River Trust to be able to use the inland waterways. People who are continuously cruising means that they don't have a permanent place to stay. So they drive around on their boats, moor up, and they can stay in that place for up to 2 weeks unless the parking restrictions specify that you have to move on sooner than that. Yeah, so they do that and they move around the system every 2 weeks. There's lots of benefits to that. I think you get a proper sense of freedom, which is something that most people are seeking when they are living on a boat. Also, it is the cheapest way to do it because you don't have to pay any council tax. But I suppose the downside of it is having to move around every 2 weeks, not having a permanent address, not having some of the facilities that you might have with a permanent residential mooring. It sounds like a really cool thing to do, but I'm not sure that I could do it full time, what with work and everything. The rules about how far you have to move are a bit vague, but what the Canal and River Trust say is that over a year they would want you to move no less than 15-20 miles, and you couldn't just like come out of one parking space and go to the next one. You'd have to actually move a significant distance, so say like into the next town, something like that. So yeah, so that's continuous cruising. Suits a lot of people, but it sounds just a little bit like too much hard work for me. So what I've done is I bought my boat with a residential mooring, which means that the place where I stay is designated for people to live here on their boats full time. So I've got a permanent address. I am liable to pay council tax on that. That's a common myth. Lots of people are surprised when I tell them that I have to pay council tax on a boat. But it also means that I can go on the electoral register if I want to vote, and it would be easier for things like getting a bank account or getting credit or a loan, that sort of thing. The reason that I did it is because I needed the stability of being somewhere close to work, having a proper place to come back to every night and not have to worry about having to move. If I want to go out and move, then I can take the boat out, but whilst I'm out and about I'll be under the same 2-week rule that the people who are doing the continuous cruising are doing. Another benefit for me of having the residential mooring is the facilities that we've got. Like I've got access to water and to pump out to a laundry, car park, that sort of thing, which if you were out and about cruising you'd have to pay extra for your pump out. You'd have to find your fuel and things like that as you're going. The water is free. There's taps all along the canal, but yeah, for me it's really cool, and I'm plugged into mains electricity. If I wanted to get a phone line and Wi-Fi and whatnot, I could do that. So you've got the benefits of living on a house and living on a boat at the same time. The third way that people live permanently on their boats, and I'm not sure if it's a bit dodgy to do this, but you've got things called leisure moorings, and what they're designed for is for people who are continuously cruising but want to have somewhere to stay for a little bit longer. I don't know, maybe over the winter, or maybe they want to stay somewhere for a month because of work, or they want to visit the area. So you get a leisure mooring. And these are really cool because you've got all of the facilities there that you'd need, like the water pump out, washing, toilets, that sort of thing. But they're not designed to be lived in all the time. However, I know that a lot of people do live there full time, so you know, you get the benefit of having a residential mooring, somewhere to stay all the time. But the downside to that is it's not your permanent address, so you couldn't register to vote there. And if you didn't have somewhere else that you were using as a permanent address, then that could be difficult with getting work or getting a bank account, those sort of things. And also from the people that I've spoken to that are living full time on the leisure moorings, they're really pricey as well. But I can see why people do it, because residential moorings are really difficult to come by, especially in London. Really the only way that you can do it is to buy a boat that's already there and transfer the mooring license over into your name with the boat. But that does make the price of the boats more expensive than if you were just to buy a boat outright and take it out cruising. I'll do another video later about how much everything cost me to move on, but I think roughly the premium that I paid extra for the price of my boat to have it with a residential mooring was probably about £15,000 to £20,000. So it is a lot of money, and if you can't afford to do it, then cruising is the way to go. And also, as I said, it just suits some people better. I guess it's down to personal preference, what you want to do. I needed a residential mooring because I didn't fancy moving around every 2 weeks. I'm 20 minutes walk from work. I've got the stability, which is something that was quite important to me. If you've got any questions about rules on mooring, having residential mooring compared to continuous cruising, just ask, and I'll try to answer them if I know the answer. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye.